Hey everybody, it's James with RTA Outdoor Living, back here with another video. In this video, we are going to be going over outdoor kitchen design fundamentals and some spacing rules to help you understand which design will work best for your space. Designing an outdoor kitchen can be pretty overwhelming as there are a lot of moving parts, and although it's not quite as simple as we are going to make it seem in this video, the fundamentals that are covered in this video will really help you get started figuring out how the most common layouts work and how much space is required. We will start off with some basic fundamentals when it comes to outdoor kitchen design. Outdoor kitchen depth. It is important to know that the depth of an outdoor kitchen island is typically a little deeper than your cabinets that are in your interior kitchen. When I say depth, I'm really referring to the measurements from front to back. Most outdoor kitchens are about 30 inches deep. Our grill island structures specifically are 28 inches deep on the base, and the countertops have a 32-inch depth. Our bar islands are 24 inches deep on the island base and a 36-inch countertop depth, as these islands are designed with countertop overhang for bar seating. These are important dimensions to know as you are figuring out the spacing of how certain layouts will fit in your space. If you are looking to incorporate bar seating, there are two dimensions you will want to consider when laying these things out in your space. The first dimension to consider is the space required for each bar stool. This will help you determine how many bar stools you can incorporate in your bar island. A general rule of thumb is to account for 2.5 feet of space per bar stool. Bar stools with swivel functionality will require a bit more space. The second dimension to consider is the space that's required for the bar stool and the amount of room behind the stool to comfortably walk behind. The general rule of thumb is that the bar stool will take up about 18 inches and you will want about 2 to 3 feet behind the stool itself for walk-through space. This means you will want a minimum of 3.5 feet from the island base if you plan to incorporate bar seating into a space. Another important thing to understand when designing your outdoor kitchen is what's called walk-through spacing. This refers to the area where you might want to enter into the layout, like in an L-shaped design. This can also be used to make sure that you have enough space on your patio on the side of your layout so that you can keep foot traffic moving from one side of your patio to the other to ensure that you don't restrict or close off your patio. The general rule of thumb is to account for about 3.5 feet to comfortably be able to walk through and allow for foot traffic movement. Now that we have laid out the fundamentals, we will go through the most common layouts and explain how things work from a layout perspective. Most customers really underestimate the amount of space required for the different outdoor kitchen layouts. Linear layouts are pretty straightforward, as there are really only two dimensions that you'll want to consider when figuring out the patio space required for these layouts. For the sake of these visuals, we will refer to the patio width as the dimension from left to right, and we will refer to the patio depth as the dimension from top to bottom. The minimum patio width will really depend on the length of your outdoor kitchen. You will also want to consider if you want walk-through space on either side of the layout, as that will require the patio width to be longer than the outdoor kitchen layout itself. The minimum patio depth is going to be around 6 feet. This comes from the depth of the outdoor kitchen island, which will average around 2.5 feet, and then factor in about 3.5 feet of space to comfortably be able to use the outdoor kitchen. You can comfortably fit a small, medium-sized linear layout on an 8-foot by 8-foot patio. If the layout is larger, then it will require more patio space, especially the patio width. Also, keep in mind that if you want to be able to walk behind the back of the island, then this will obviously require more patio space as well. L-shaped layouts are popular as you can start to incorporate more design elements like bar seating and more countertop space. These layouts do require more space, so let's give you some of the things to consider for your space. On our layouts, we actually create an L shape by combining two islands, most commonly by combining a grill island and a bar island. In this visual, the grill island is located on the top of the L, and the bar island is represented by the island that is on the right and goes from top to bottom. The minimum patio width will ultimately depend on the size of the layout. The smallest grill island is typically a 4-foot island, so if you combine that with a bar island that is 36 inches deep, then the top measurement is going to be around 7 feet. L-shapes are unique because they have an overlap where the two islands meet, so you'll always have to account for the depth of the bar island that meets the grill island. If you plan to actually have bar seating, then the minimum width of the patio for a small scale L-shape will be about 10 feet. The minimum patio depth is going to be around 10 feet. Since most bar islands are going to be around 6 to 7 feet, you will want to account for an additional 3.5 feet for walkthrough space. This will typically serve as the area that is used to enter the layout and walk to the bar seating on the outside of the layout. Small scale L-shapes with bar seating will fit in a patio footprint of 10 feet by 10 feet, but most larger L-shapes will fit comfortably on a 15 foot by 10 foot patio footprint. If you don't plan on incorporating bar seating on the L-shape, then you can cut down on the patio space required. Galley layouts are essentially just two linear layouts back to back. A lot of the principles that we will use for linear layouts will also apply to galley layouts. Like a linear layout, the patio width will really depend on the length of the islands on the galley layout. You will also want to consider if you want walkthrough spacing on either side of each island, as that will require the patio width to be longer than the outdoor kitchen itself. The minimum patio depth is going to be around 8 feet. You should account for about 2.5 feet for each island and a minimum of 3 feet in between each island. If you want to incorporate bar seating on one of the islands or be able to walk behind either of the islands, then the patio depth will need to be larger than 8 feet. But 8 feet is the minimum for layouts that could be going against the wall on one side and might be along the border of the patio on the other side. You can comfortably fit a small to medium-sized galley layout on a patio footprint of 10 feet by 8 foot. But most galley layouts will require a patio footprint of about 12 feet by 12 feet, especially if the layout is going to include bar seating. U-shaped layouts are similar to L-shaped layouts in a lot of ways, but are larger and require more patio space. The amount of space will really depend on whether you want bar seating on both sides or if one of both sides of the U are going to be up against walls. With our islands, we create U-shaped layouts by combining a grill island, which makes up the middle of the U, with 2 bar islands on each side. The minimum patio width will ultimately depend on the size of the layout. The smallest grill island that can be used in the middle of the U is a 4-foot island. So at a minimum, the U shape will be about 10 feet when you account for the bar island depth of 36 inches on each side. If you are wanting to incorporate bar seating on each side, you will want to account for another 7 feet in total, as you will want 3.5 feet behind each bar island. This brings the minimum patio width to about 17 feet for a small scale U-shape. The minimum patio depth is going to be similar to an L-shaped layout where you will want around 10 feet. As discussed, most bar islands are going to be around 6 to 7 feet. You will want to account for an additional 3.5 feet for walkthrough space. You will need walkthrough space to enter inside of the U as well as access the bar seating on either side. Small scale U-shapes with bar seating will fit in a patio footprint of about 17 feet by 10 feet, but we would recommend a patio footprint of about 20 feet by 10 feet to be comfortable. For medium to large scale U-shapes, you will want to consider a patio footprint of about 25 feet by 12 feet or larger. These patio footprints can be scaled back if you don't plan on incorporating bar seating or the islands will be located up against walls. We wanted to make a special section to address spacing of layouts that incorporate our corner islands. These have become a very popular feature to our designs in the past year, as they provide a very functional design where you can incorporate more appliances and make better use of your space. The corner islands are a great addition to an L-shape or a U-shape island, but they are fairly large and these designs require a fair amount of space. The back measurements of the corner island is around 4.5 feet. Let's use an L-shaped island as an example to give you an idea on things. If you have a 7-foot grill island with a corner island and a 7-foot bar island, the outside measurements of this layout will be around 11.5 feet by 11.5 feet. To comfortably fit this on your patio, you will want your patio footprint to be about 15 feet by 15 feet at a minimum. I know we've covered a lot of information in this video, but hope this was helpful in understanding the fundamentals of outdoor kitchen layouts and spacing. If you are feeling a bit overwhelmed, don't worry. we have a design team that can assist you in creating the best design for your space. You can use our design tool to get a start on the concept, and someone on our design team will reach out and can assist you from there. We help thousands of customers every year perfect their outdoor kitchen designs, so we would love to help you out. Do us a favor, if you've got value from this video, smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and comment in the comment section below with any thoughts or questions that you have. We look forward to seeing you on the next video.